Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be on that golden path of light, which is the path going back to yourself, I hope that you are able to be 100% clear on your intentions in every area of your life. Now, usually you're aware of your motivations and your intentions, but we talked about integrity yesterday, and we have to make sure today that your intentions are in alignment with your true desires and your integrity. Your soul, your personal power will be divided unless your intentions and your integrity are intact, if they're like together in alignment with each other. Now remember, your integrity is your alignment with your with what you want. You know, if you are doing what you want, if you want to be a lawyer and you're going to law school, you are in alignment. You know, if you want to be a lawyer and you haven't even applied to the university yet, or you haven't even picked out the university, or you're out there doing drugs and you just got arrested, you're not going to be a lawyer with the record, right? So, you know, lawyers, you know, obey and, you know, enact the laws, right? So, and sometimes write the laws, right? So that's just like one quick example. So, what are your intentions for your physical body? If your intentions are to be in perfect shape and you never go to the gym, there's a little bit of a problem there, right? Your intentions aren't truly to get in shape, if that's what's happening. So if you say, oh, I'm getting in shape, I'm doing it, and then someone says, well, when's the last time you went to the gym? You're like, about 3-4 months ago. Your intentions are not to get in shape, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is when you lie to other people or you lie to yourself about what your intentions are, or you're ignoring your day-to-day habits when they're out of alignment with what you want for yourself. I want to be in shape, but have I worked out? No. I mean, I go up and down the stairs quite a bit, 4, 5, 6 times a day, because my favorite bathroom's on the 3rd floor, and I like to hang out on the 1st floor because I like to go outside and hang out on the patio, in the patio area. I mean, I know what my intentions are. My intentions are just to kind of take it easy right now during this coronavirus time, and just really, you know, eat and sleep okay. And eventually I will get back into the working out part of this. You know, I never say I'm in the middle of gaining shape. I don't. I'm not. Do I want to be in shape? Sure. Is it my intention to do that now? It's not on the list for the week. Not on the list for the month even, actually. If I met my twin flame tomorrow, oh my God, it'd be like at the top of the list. Because I know it's one of those things I have to do, right? So if you say, it's my intention to be healthier, and you're eating junk food, not just on the cheat day, but you're eating healthy food on the cheat day, and you're eating junk food 6 days a week, it's maybe not in alignment with what you're saying. And this goes to the category of integrity. And it's not, I mean, you have to be in integrity with yourself. It doesn't matter what you say to other people. It matters what you say to yourself and what you say to the universe when it comes to the personal things like gaining shape or just eating healthier. When I first met my husband, he told me he's a vegetarian. And I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. Because at that time, I had been a vegetarian for 9 years. I had not eaten meat in 9 years. I'm like, well, that's incredible. I'm so glad that we could both be vegetarians. I mean, I would accept you if you ate meat every day. It didn't matter to me. But, you know, because I don't have like a weird hang up about judging somebody. I had a friend who used to say, meat that touches lips will never touch mine. You know, it's like, or lips that touch meat will never touch my lips. It was just like, whatever, dude. That's like so judgmental. I mean, if you had an allergy to meat, I could see that. But I mean, he didn't. He was just being a difficult human. You know, it just, but that's his choice also, you know. But like for him to like completely disrespect the plates of like the majority of people out there, you know. And that, I mean, that's okay. You want to date a vegetarian, that's fine. You want to date a pescatarian or a breatharian, I mean, that's not going to last long because most people aren't doing the breatharian thing correctly. And most of them die of malnutrition. I don't know if you guys knew that, but it's kind of crazy. Don't just go out and do that, you know, unless you've had... I wouldn't even do it at all, honestly. You know, unless you've had complete training or I don't know what, but just be careful with those kinds of things. They're fringe. There's a lot of cool spiritual practices out there, and some of them are so fringy and weird that, you know, they sound cool at first. Oh, yeah, I would save so much money on groceries if I didn't have to buy them. But you can really hurt yourself with some of these things, you know. I wanted to be a vegetarian, and I was, and I dated a vegetarian, and he was okay with me eating meat, but he had somehow convinced me to be a vegetarian. And after like a year with him, I finally was like, well, you know, I'm ready to try it. So I did, and almost lost my life as a result. It took 9 years to really wreck my body with it. Not a good diet for my genetics, apparently. And I did everything. I mean, I did the research. I was, you know, eating all the protein and, you know, everything I was supposed to eat. Everything was, you know, in alignment with what I'm supposed to do. And the guy that I was with, he was a complete narcissist, but very intelligent guy. And, you know, he had done all of his research. And so it's not like we sat around eating soy constantly. We didn't. We were very careful about stuff. But it was still a bad thing for me. So anyway, but when my husband told me, you know, I'm a vegetarian, and I was like, wow. So I called my mom, and I'm like, it's incredible. He's a vegetarian too. It's like we have the same diet, and it's like awesome. And the day after I told her that, he went out and went to McDonald's and came home and had a chicken sandwich right in front of me. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Literally, you just made me lie to my mom. You know, like, and then I had a personal crisis. Like, what was your intention of telling me that? And being like, this is us. We are this. We are vegetarians. And I got my ego wrapped up in the idea of, as a couple, we are vegetarians. I told my friends. I told my mom. I told my grandma. And then for him to come home and eat meat, I was like, what the hell? And I felt so betrayed. It was such a weird thing. Like, and I told him in the beginning, if you eat meat or whatever, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. Because I don't judge people based on their plates. But there was like that integrity, that little bit of a betrayal. Like, he could have said, I am mostly vegetarian, but, you know, about 10 or 20% of the time, I will resort to eating meat if I feel a little bit run down. I would have been like, that's cool. That's great. But that little bit of, like, what was your intention with me? to say that. And I think maybe his intention had nothing to do with me. It was in himself. I'm a vegetarian. That's what I want to be. I want to be a good person. I want to be a vegetarian. Whatever the reason he was a vegetarian. I think because he loved animals, right? And for me, it was like, well, I don't really have to eat meat. I live in the free world. I have access to all kinds of food. There's a lot of stuff available. I mean, hey. And every now and again, I would eat like a toasted tofu. I would have some, stuff that wasn't terribly healthy. But overall, I thought it was healthy. But anyway, but what is your intention, right? So that kind of bothered me. And I felt like, wow, you say that you're this, and then you're like totally not, But that's not the only thing. This isn't only about diet or food or whatever, but these are only examples. So another thing is when you say, I have the intention that my twin flame is on his way to me, or she's on her way to me, or my next soulmate, my next relationship, or my soulmate, or my future wife, my future husband, my future person. And I have the intention that I'm ready and my relationship is going to happen. So maybe you feel ready. Maybe your diet's in alignment and your workout, exercise routines in alignment and everything in your life, and you're ready for this person. And you say, it's my intention that my twin flame come into my life right now. And then you go ahead and you continue to hold on to your ex's favorite sweatshirt that you never gave back because you're being petty. And maybe you're still thinking about that person. You want to get back at them with some kind of revenge. You're going to steal your dog back, or you're going to sue them in court, or you're going to do spells against your ex. Well, how is that in alignment with getting your twin flame? It's not. It's in alignment with you letting your ego get in the way of the past that's gone and done. It's you getting in the way of yourself and your own future happiness. The past is dead and gone. It's history. It's gone. There's no mystery to the past because you've already read that story. His story and her story. You've already read the story. The book is old and it's dog-eared, and it's time to live in the present moment. You are writing your future book right now in this moment. So if you are in the intention of having the love of your life come into your world, and maybe you're over your ex and that's cool, but you still have some pictures with them laying around. If you have children, that's okay. If you have a wedding album, because they might want that someday, knowing that their mom and dad did love them and did conceive them out of love, and that's okay. But if you're like in your 20s, you've never been married, you don't have kids, and you have, pictures of your ex everywhere, reminders and memories of your ex, things they bought you, still lying around, then what is your real intention there? Why are you holding on to that? Or if you do keep these things, okay, fine. I don't know if you ever watched Gilmore Girls, but remember when Rory and Dean broke up, she had a Dean box. Everything he touched, everything he commented on, her favorite sweater that he always loved to see her in, things he gave her, it all went into the Dean box. And she boxed it up tight. I mean, even her favorite stuffed animals since she was little, like things he hugged, held, commented on, boom, all goes into the Dean box. I don't want anything to do with him anymore. It's over. And her intention was to move on, cut it off, move on. And she handed the box to her mom. And her mom thought, well, maybe it's not over, because I know how relationships go. So she hid the box in the back of the closet. Just in case. Rory was a little hesitant. And that's okay. You know, if you're like, well, you know, not that you're ever going to get back together with them, but maybe you're going to want to get your stuffed animal from childhood back after you get over that person and you kind of erase the memory of it. All right, fine. You know, if you're Rory and you're like, I don't want anything to do with anything he said or did or touched or looked at. If you looked at it, it's out of here. You maybe want to put your Dean box in the back of the closet for a minute. See where you're at in a month or two. You know, and sometimes this stuff is okay, but what if you are selfishly hogging your closet? What? Well, Elena, I live alone. My closet is my closet. Well, yeah, if you're waiting for the love of your life, aren't you going to give him his half of the closet? You know, why not? Make it a point to throw the things away that you don't need anymore and give him his half of the closet. I know I have like 18 drawers or something. I have my room is like a massive closet. It's it's an enormous room. I'm renting, but I mean, if the love of my life comes tomorrow, he's got a massive section of my floor. He could put his, I don't know what, his guitar, his suitcases. I don't know what the hell he's going to bring to visit or live, or I don't know what's going to happen, but I am prepared. Just in case, I'm prepared. It is my intention to be prepared and welcoming for him when he does come, when he is in my life. So he's got his drawers. He actually has his half of the closet to hang stuff up. He's got section in my room to put anything he needs. Whether he wants me to buy him a desk or whatever he needs, whatever he wants. He's got that. He's got the section. Now, what about at night when you go to bed? Is it your intention to have the love of your life there, but you're still sleeping in the middle of the bed? Have you not figured out what half of the bed is hers yet? What half of the bed is his yet? You got to think about these things. Like, you know what? Start sleeping on your side of the bed so that he or she or they will have their side of the bed. It sounds weird, but like you have to be generous in your space to allow that person to have the space to come into your life. I mean, that's just it. You know, maybe you have I don't have an extra towel. I was thinking about, well, maybe I better buy an extra towel. I need to buy two because the only towel I have is like really old and really crappy. And it actually belonged to my ex-boyfriend. He hated the towel because it says, I heart Bali. He's never been to Bali, but his sister went to Bali and bought him the towel. And he found out later that it was just a towel that the resort gave her for free. So he was just like, God, it was a cheap towel. And he said every time he sees it, it reminded him that his sister had money and he didn't. And his sister got to travel the world and he didn't. And he felt resentful of her. So he gives me his resent towel, you know. He's rejecting his resent towel and giving it to me and laughing about it as I took it out of his life after he broke up with me. So I kind of realized, you know, I have to take my own advice too. What are my intentions? What are your intentions in other areas of your life? You intend to learn something, but you haven't learned anything. You know, maybe in the past 8 months you've been scared because of the pandemic, and that's understandable. But you thought, hey, during this time I have to stay home. I'm going to take some classes. You know, go online, explore. And then you haven't really done that. Maybe this was your time to write the great American novel and you haven't sat down to write yet this year. You know I have intentions of someday sitting down and being extremely disciplined and spending 4 hours a day writing. You know, articles, books, whatever, screenplays. You know, I have a director I have to get back to that he wanted me to write a script for him, and then this whole pandemic thing happened, and I'm like, oh my God. It was my one chance to get on Netflix, right? Or my first chance, at least, I should say. Not my one, but I'm sure I'll have many. And I was like, oh, man, I could have sat down and done that. But it was hard. My son, who I love with all my heart, he is chaotic as hell. And living with him has been super chaotic. Like, for example, this is something he did. He just was on his phone doing whatever, cooking, waiting for something to cook, and randomly stabbed my 6-liter thing of water. Just stabbed it with a knife he had in his hand. Just whatever. And just stabbed it once. That was it. Just kind of like, yeah. Just whatever. Being rambunctious, ADHD, whatever the hell. He didn't mean anything. There's no weird intention behind it. It was just something to do because he's bored. And he's that kind of chaotic. And so I grab my water. I go upstairs. Last night I went to pour my water into my glass. And water went all over the floor because he had stabbed the side of the water. Ah! It's just like that kind of chaos. It's like constant. When he was gone for the 2 days he was gone, I cleaned the house. The house was nice. It smelled good. It looked good. Everything was amazing. He was home for 2 days and it looks like I never even cleaned. That kind of chaos. And it's been my intention to get my life in order and be disciplined and have a routine. And it's like, I can't. Today I spent 2 freaking hours looking for the top half of my coffee grinder so I could have my morning coffee. And it took me until the afternoon to find my morning coffee. Like the stuff I needed for the morning coffee. There's a lot of things he's broken or misplaced or, it's just been super chaotic. And I know that my intentions have been to spend a long time meditating, spend a long time doing my personal stuff, my writing, obviously the show, all the different things that I do. But I've been constantly distracted by stuff like that. Like he could leave the house, like today's gone to work for 8 hours. And while he's gone, I still had 2 hours to look for my stupid coffee thing. Those are 2 hours I could have been writing. I could have been doing my university classes. But oh no. Instead, I had to go through the whole freaking house. I was out on the patio. I was looking in the dryer. I mean, you guys have no idea what this is like. Living with someone who literally they're chaotic. Everything about them is chaotic. It's nuts. It's nuts, And so sometimes you have a situation, whether it's that or a very demanding job, or maybe you have a baby. Oh my God, being a mom with a little tiny baby, it's like you're never going to get that novel written, girl. Like it's never going to happen. It's just one of those things. And now my son is 18 and last night he said something about moving out. And it's maybe the first time it didn't actually emotionally hurt me. Like I did not allow it to hurt me. Like I'm going to be sad and I'm going to miss him and he's going to definitely come and visit. It's not like he's, before when he said it, he was angry. Now he's like, yeah, I just need my own space. And I'm like, I could kind of see that. You're a grown adult. You want to be able to bring women back to the house. I'm getting that. He's not that way. He's not a player, but he wants to find a girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get that. All right, it makes sense. He probably wants to have his friends over now that he's an adult and he's drinking age. So he might have, 1 or 2 of his friends over for a beer once in a while. And it's awkward when mom and mom's cat, hi, meow, it's a little weird. You can't just have people over in the evening because I might be doing my show and my show is weird to most people. So I get it. And I was thinking, it would be nice for me to go out and meet friends and be able to have people back to the house eventually. I have a few friends in town I haven't seen in months. And so that's one of those things, like you just feel like you have the intention to do things, but then other things outside of you pull your energy in different directions. And sometimes you have to regroup and figure out what is your intention. So I've been thinking about it. I know what my intention is for doing my readings and getting my hypnotherapy stuff done for you guys, as well as obviously the show. And the only thing I've been able to truly get done in the past year and a half has been this show. And there's been many times when I couldn't even get done till midnight or 2 a.m. because my son was demanding all my time and attention. Even though he would say in a heartbeat, he leaves me alone a lot. And he doesn't really, like he does, but then he doesn't. And it's like, ugh. But, so you have to reevaluate some things when you're able, like sometimes you can't get rid of that job, and obviously you can't get rid of the baby, and I can't ask my son to leave. I know he doesn't have the money to sustain his life yet. He's working on it. He will soon. And probably in the next 2 months, he'll probably have everything together. And if I get a job, I will definitely give him money to move out, because I want him to be happy, And he even asked, I need to get a vehicle. Can you pay, can I pay you back payments? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? We're going to be living in the same city, so that's not a problem until I, can move to another elevation. I just want to live like a few, 40 minutes out of the city. A little bit lower in elevation, where it's a little bit warmer and I could breathe, and then I can exercise a little bit better. It's really hard for me to breathe here. But so I'm like evaluating my own life and my own choices and my own intentions on things. Like what are my true intentions, And so, like I know someday I want to have a business. I have 3 or 4 or 38 million business ideas, but I know it's not my intention to do that now. So I'm not saying I'm going to do that now. I don't talk about it right now because it's not where I'm at, right? My only real intention is to make the show 5 days a week until the end of the year. And I think I'm really thinking seriously about taking off the end of the year and not having a show from like the 22nd or 23rd of December on through the 2nd of January. I think I might take a week off because I am starting to feel burned out because I have other things to do. Oh, hello, sweetheart. So here's a Raven's bell. She's happy today. Familiar report. I bought her a little, I don't know what you call it. It's just a little tiny cat tree thing, things that she could scratch with her claws that made her very happy. And has a toy dangling from this little perch she can sit on. And then there's like a box and it's all covered in fur. It's really furry and soft and pink and purple and blue and just adorable as heck. And one of the neighbors makes these because she has a passion for animals and, well, cats. And so, hello, honey. She's acting like she wants to maybe speak. Meow. Are you going to meow for me? No. I tried to speak her language and now she's just ignoring me. All right. No, she gave me the tail. It's kind of like talk to the tail, Anyway, I'm really happy. I got this. Guys, my voice is getting weird. I'm really happy. I got this thing for her. I said, this is your early Christmas. And she's been happy and playing with this and hung out inside the box for a few minutes and scratched that post quite a bit. And that made her happy. Because everything else, if her claws go into anything, I'm like, no. And this one, I'm like, ooh, look, I'm going to scratch this with my claws. And I showed her me doing it. So, of course, I look like an idiot. Hope the neighbors aren't walking by when I do stuff like this. But anyway, I just started thinking about the intentions today, like what are your intentions for everything in your life, Maybe it's your intention to always look good and then you still wear pajamas to the store or t-shirt and sweats and what are your intentions? Like if you're trying to look for love, but you're dressing like in an old white t-shirt that has stains all over it, it's just like, you got to be careful of this stuff, right? what are your intentions and what are your actions? And if they're out of alignment, how do you get back to it? And it's okay not to be looking for love. It's okay to be like, I'm going to be super casual and dress like a freaking hobo right now. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to be super honest with yourself about your intentions. Just because it's societally correct to want to look for love when you don't have it. I mean, screw society, screw, what your family and friends think, Sure, you might not have been on a date since last Christmas. Most of us haven't. There's nothing wrong with wanting to continue to be single, right? You could say you're in an isolationship, I'm isolating myself from other humans. I'm in an isolationship right now. Global pandemic, I feel like if you are honest with yourself about your intentions, like, what? It's my intention to eat junk food for the next week. All right, cool. It's my intention to eat healthy for the next week. All right. It's my intention to have Sunday as my cheat day, and Monday through Saturday I'm going to eat healthy. All right. But don't tell everybody that it's your intention to walk your dog at 6 a.m. in the morning. Or obviously that's in the morning, 6 a.m. every single day. And, you're still rolling out of bed about 10:30. And then you're feeling guilty because you didn't do what you thought you were going to do. You didn't do what you say you're going to do. You just feel like crap about yourself. So maybe reset your intention. If it's not in alignment with what your actions have been, what your habits have been, reset your intention to, I hope that I'm able to, I set the intention that I am able to walk my dog before noon every day. So if you get up at 7:30 in the morning, you just won. Widen the parameters if you have to. I set the intention that 4 days a week I'm going to dress up nice. That gives you 3 days to still wear your sweats and t-shirt if you want. Or whatever it is, whatever the thing is. But it really drags your energy and it drags you down if you keep saying all your intentions and then you're not fulfilling any of them. It's bad enough that we have all this space weather happening that's affecting our energy levels. It's bad enough that we're all going through this massive transformation, spiritually speaking. It's bad enough that our lives are in serious transition on every level. All of us are going through transitions of one kind or another. I'm going through the transition of having been a single mom to gonna just be single when my son moves out. I'm still gonna be a mom the rest of my life, no matter what, but, and I'm still a kitty mommy, but, but I have to shift my focus and realize that this transition is healthy for me. It's a great move for me. It's a great move for my son. He's an adult and he's being responsible. It's incredible to watch this transformation take place. A lot of you are in the middle of, you just finished moving or you're about to move. You've gone to university and you've graduated. Some of you are getting married and one of you is actually in the process of getting married and going to have a baby. And some of you are thinking about moving to a new country. I've heard from a lot of you. And it's cool. I don't think there's a single person that listens to the show that's not going through some major life transformation and also a transition. Gonna move from the city to the countryside, gonna move from the countryside into the city, gonna move from this city to another city or another state or another country. I have spoken to a lot of you, and a lot of you are really going through some major things. Some of you just got a brand new animal. Like me, I just got a cat. Some of you are like, I just got the dog, that I've always wanted, or, those kinds of, even that's a huge change. Some of you have just lost your parents or one of your parents, or had major losses like deaths in your family or among your friends. So you're going through that kind of a transition. Like, wow, you used to calling your dad every day to check up on him, and now he's gone. It kind of frees up a lot of your time, and it might be a good thing for you in the long run. But at the same time, it's hard. It's emotionally hard. It's hard to go through the loss of a parent. I talk to my mom almost every day of my whole life. And in the past, like the last year that she was alive, my adopted mom, she and I didn't talk as often. And it was hard for her to hear. And she was old, and she was having a hard time following a conversation. It'd have to be very, very shallow conversation. And it drove me crazy because it's like I wanted to get into deeper conversation with her. And she would just, either she couldn't hear me or she just couldn't handle the topics anymore. She didn't want to tell me how to raise my kids anymore or give me ideas for that. And she didn't want to hear about my love life. And she didn't even want to hear about my travels. She just didn't want to hear about anything. So she would ask me what I'm eating. What am I having for dinner? Did I brush my teeth? I mean, those are the two questions she asked me my whole freaking life. And I would be so angry, like, oh my God, I'm in my 40s, Mom. Do you think I don't know how to eat? Like, how did I keep myself alive? Quit asking me about food. It's so irritating. And then after a while, I just was like, okay, it's just her way of showing me that she cares. So, all right, Mom, I had hot dogs and chips today. Are you happy now? I had a smoothie today. Are you happy now? I had a big salad and fried chicken. Are you happy now? Whatever it was. If we had tacos, it was Mexican day. We had Mexican food all day. When I lived in Mexico, my God, I loved that. Every day was Mexican food day. It was my favorite. Oh my God, best food ever. It's always a toss-up between Indian food, Mexican food, and Italian food. But Indian food I can't eat every day. So Mexican and Italian, those are the two foods I could eat every day in my life forever and be happy. As long as sometimes the pasta can accompany a nice steak, I'm good. Anyway, so let's get into, first of all, our card of the day for the collective is Vintage Wisdom Oracle. It's taken from that by Victoria Mosley. And the card of the day is love. Now, we are in a month where I think a lot of twin flame relationships are going to finally come to fruition in the real world. So I was happy when I saw the word love. I was like, oh yeah. The one card this whole freaking time I was wishing that we would get, and we finally got it. So here we go. Let me look it up to see what is the description of this, because I was able to download the little booklet that goes along with this. And by the way, I wanted to tell you guys, before I forget, the other day when I did the Prime Creator episode, towards the end of the first half, in part of the first half, I think that my hand was in the way of my microphone somehow. I think I rested my microphone on the palm of my hand because I'm recording this on my tablet. I wanted to apologize for the really crappy sound quality in that episode. And thank God the channeling, which is the most important part of that episode, thank God, and the end, the muffled part was really just giving you guys the Schumann Resonance news, which wasn't a whole lot. I think if it was Tuesday night, I don't know. Tuesday night, election night, I don't even think I didn't do a show. I did it on Wednesday. So yeah, there was something. Oh, it was complete calm on Tuesday's show. On Tuesday, the Schumann Resonance for Italy was 100% calm during the election, which was very odd. And that was like the biggest news. And then, you could always go to these websites yourself and check out what the Schumann Resonance is if you ever encounter me muffling myself against. I mean, I'm sorry about the sound quality. That was just really crappy of me. All right, hold on a minute. Let me look at this. I gotta find it. Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Trying to look it up. Oh my God, why is this so hard? Gotta look up images, videos, audio, recent. No, it just says downloads. Of course, I've got to wade through everything. There we go. It's called VWO. I was looking for the word vintage. All right, here we go. So love on Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Let's see. New beginnings. That would be a good one to get. All right. Love. Love takes many forms, and this is a depiction of Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Woo! She's also the goddess of beauty and fertility. Ooh. Fertility is something that's been coming up a lot lately. If you're young and looking for your soulmate or your twin flame, yeah, it might be that not only is love in the air, but the idea of starting a family is in the air for a lot of people. In fact, a friend of mine, her son was her only son for forever, and he just turned 18 a couple days ago. And she's now with her second husband having her second baby. So like her third child. She's pregnant right now. I'm like, oh my God. In fact, it's Rainy's sister. And hi, Rainy. I love Rainy. And Rainy's Jordan's sister. And Jordan and I have been friends ever since I started traveling in South America. So, I don't know. I love their family. They're like my extended family, like my brothers and sisters, even though I just met them and I don't know them very, very well. But from the minute I met his family, I was like, oh, I love these guys. Cool people. Anyway, but I couldn't believe it. I was like, I never go on Facebook, and here I saw a picture of her. I'm like, oh my God, she's pregnant. Holy man, that's so cool. Anyway, and she just had a little girl last year, so how cool is that? And by the way, if you, and one of you, Janine, is having a baby, and if you have a baby, the first 6 weeks after you give birth is your most fertile time as a woman. Do not get pregnant during this time. Your body needs to recover for a year. So be very careful and be aware of that. You could break your bones easier if you have 2 pregnancies back to back like that. You got to be super careful, by the way. So I don't know who needed to hear that message, but just got a flash of that. All right. So the otherworldly charm of the distant landscape in this card dissolves into the shimmering golden seas below, as if to light a path to the heavens. And Aphrodite is a water goddess, said to have been created from the sea, from the foam of the sea. And it's funny they're saying golden, because didn't I just say that in my introduction? And obviously I didn't even have this app, or this thing open, so I didn't even know. I love when everything all kind of matches together. So, okay. The symbolism of goddess Aphrodite extends to anything that makes the heart sing. This can include music and nature and the arts. So the tones used in the image are predominantly violet. God, you could have fooled me. I got this from China, and all the colors are super off in this deck. In fact, if I could ever get a hold of the real deck, I think I would probably give this deck away. I might eventually do that. Anyway, there's no violet in this card. Why? This has the shortest wavelength of all the colors in the visible light spectrum. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? Violet is the color of the crown chakra, found in the human aura as well, and creates vibrant energy that illuminates and connects us to the higher planes. You know what? It's funny too, because this thing I just bought, this cat gym, I just bought for Sorcerer Ravenspell. It's lavender in color, lavender purple, and kind of a, not really mauve, but I'll have to take a picture. If I could get her in there and have only her eyes showing, I've always wanted to get a picture of her like that. Anyway, I'll try to get a good picture this weekend and put that up on Instagram, which is Mermaid Girl 888, by the way. Anyway, so a passing dove hovers in the air above Aphrodite, as if enchanted by the hypnotic sound of her music. According to folklore, Pan, the god Pan, created the panpipe in memory of his lost love, Syrinx, which is still the Greek name for panpipe to this day. I did not know that. Syrinx, Syrinx. Very odd. Okay. We can easily forget that we are spiritual beings having a mortal experience. At times, we're blinded by fear, scarcity, and material survival. Fear and love cannot occupy the same space at the same time. As souls, love is what we are, and love is where we came from. The appearance of this card calls for you to realign with this mighty healing power of love, so its light can illuminate your pathway. It might be your time to powerfully give or receive love, to forgive somebody or overcome issues from the past where there have been hurts and disappointments. Love invites you to leave your judgment and prejudice at the door. Let her warming rays move through you, touching those around you, whether it's family, strangers, or enemies. Don't let the moment pass. If you're given an opportunity to do things differently by expressing love in some way, no matter how small, love invites you to dissolve all your barriers and let in its magic. All obstacles can be transcended because where love is present, with no conditions, no agendas, all things become possible. Love is where miracles can happen. Love underpins the very foundations of life itself. Trust in its power, trust in the power of love, and look forward to the prospect of giving it, receiving it, and sharing it. Above all, be willing to be guided by the wisdom of your loving heart. So there you guys go. That's all super splendiferous advice. My old roommates from college used to say the word splendiferous a lot. Then they would laugh at it because it sounded so funny. All right, spaceweather.com. Let's check it out. Current solar wind speeds 450.6 kilometers per second. And sunspot AR2781 is big and still poses threats for C-class solar flares. In fact, the solar winds did spark auroras, all the solar winds coming off the sun. We're in the middle right now still. We're in the middle of a solar wind stream, and it's just pushing and pulsing through us right now. I mean, earlier I was aware of a really massive pulse from the central sun that comes through our sun and around our sun towards us. In addition to the solar wind stream, plus the cosmic radiation. In general, we're being bombarded with a lot of light. So it's absolutely imperative that you drink a lot of water and get a lot of rest at this time. So they're talking about the thing strange in Cygnus again still. This is really strange. There has been a very strange cloud in the constellation Cygnus, and the bright core, and it's emitting luminous spiral clouds. And some people are wondering if something had exploded over Earth. It's very weird. And this person was in Western Texas. Lee McClurg took a picture of this from Lake Amistad. Amistad meaning in Spanish. Friendship in Spanish, sorry. I was going to say meaning in Spanish, friendship. Oh my God. I'm like speaking backwards sometimes because Spanish is backwards to English in a lot of ways. So this is a very strange picture if you want to check it out on spaceweather.com. So there's another article here that's very odd. Sunspot bombs away. Bombs are exploding in the magnetic canopy of the giant sunspot AR-2781. They're called Ellerman bombs. Maximilian Tedesco of Romania captured this phenomenon in a photograph he took on the 5th of November. So just this week. So you could check this out. And he says AR-2781 was sparkling with flashes of light. A lot of them were detectable. So I'm going to open this. Oh my God, there's a lot of them. Oh my God. You might want to go check this out. He circled them so you can know what you're looking at. Now, each flash is called an Ellerman bomb. This is a magnetic explosion that is 1/1,000,000th as powerful as a true solar flare. And they're named after Ferdinand Ellerman because he had really bad gas. Just kidding. It doesn't say that at all. I just thought I'd put in some levity here. I mean, after all, we're going to get to the weekly Weird World News soon. So, okay, they're named after Ferdinand Ellerman, who studied the tiny blasts in the early 20th century. Now, of course, tiny is relative because a single Ellerman bomb releases about 10 to the 26th power ERGs of energy, equal to more than 100,000 atomic bombs. Damn, that must have been something he ate. I'm just kidding. Someone needs to stop eating Mexican food. I'm just kidding. All right. In the image above, and you could go check this out on spaceweather.com, Tedesco inserted a picture of Earth for comparison. And every Ellerman bomb is about the size of a United States state. That is pretty crazy. So I wanted to let you know. We are in the middle of a solar wind stream right now. Remember, we were told that we were going to be hit by one a few days ago, and here we are being hit by one right now. All right, so let's see. Ulu neutron counts are high. We're at 9.9% of the space age average, so in the past 48 hours, there have been a change of 0.3% less. So what else do we have here? Oh, yes. We can't forget the fireballs. We were talking about the sun bombs, and now we're talking about fireballs. Every night, a network of NASA's all-sky cameras will scan the skies above the United States for meteoritic fireballs. So this week, or today, the All-Sky Fireball Network did report 22 fireballs over the United States. 18 were sporadic, 3 were northern torids, and 1 was a Chi torid. I don't know what that is. C-H-I? Chi torid. Strange. So there we have it for spaceweather.com. All right. As far as the Schumann Resonance in Italy from disclosurenews.it, it's 10 hertz frequency. That's it. Not a whole big deal. 10. So, not a lot to write home about, honestly. But the closest thing we have on heartmath.org is the 2300 hour of Wednesday. So we're going to take it. We're going to look at what happened on Wednesday. California was at 49 hertz frequency. Hofuf, Saudi Arabia was at 0 hertz frequency. I almost said Hulului. Hofuf. Yeah, okay, so Lithuania was at 137 hertz frequency, so that's quite a bit up there. Alberta, Canada was at 67 hertz frequency, and Northland, New Zealand was at 64 hertz frequency. Last but not least, and my favorite one to say, because I almost said it earlier, Hulului, South Africa was at 185 hertz frequency. So there you have it, guys. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, let you guys listen to this sweet little ditty by the Kapabwe National Irish School. These kids wrote this rap themselves, wrote and performed and sang and danced in the video. It's adorable as hell. So if you want to go to the Kapabwe National Irish School to check them out, you might want to be inspired to do that. I love this song. I don't know about you guys. If you hate it, you want me to change it, let me know. But I love this song. Kind of is a good song to lead us into the Earth Changes Report and the weekly Weird World News, which is what we're going to get to, well, right after this song.
We can make a difference in our own small way.
Just one small change, we can do that today. Our mind's getting bigger while the world's getting smaller.
But saving the Earth's becoming a tall order. From the minute you awake from your nightly nap, you can make little changes like turning off the tap
While brushing your teeth in the bathroom.
You can cycle or walk your way to the classroom.
Cut down the fuel you used to get to school.
Pull in, let's cancel.
In your lunchbox, cut down the plastic. See, these things aren't too drastic. Spread the word, get vocal.
Make it go global. When buying food, stay local. Never mind the dishwasher, do it by hand. But I hate washing up.
Ah, come on, it's grand.
Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. Since we found out the Earth was sick,
We knew we had to do something quick. The Earth is our family and our friend.
we need to mend it before it ends.
This is our home, so don't destroy it. Everyone should do their bit. Ice caps melting, seas getting high. Homes will be flooded, polar bears will die. The sun's getting hotter, the rain won't fall. I'm afraid we won't survive at all. Recycle the plastic, please, it's free.
You don't want that ending up in the sea. It's like people use this planet as a bin. Pick up your trash, that's where you begin.
Temperature is rising, we are realizing. We must act now, there's no compromising.
Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. If you cut down flowers and trees, you contribute to the mass extinction of the bees. Think of the creatures that don't have a say. There has to be a better way. There's no higher being to save the earth. We've got to do something before we get hurt.
At school, we know what to do.
But my question is, do you? Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our Earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump right on in with the Earth Changes Report. Just remember, one of the big reasons why I talk about the changes taking place on our planet is because most of these changes involve emotional pain for people, and I think it's a good idea to pray for people, even if we don't know them. Just pray, send them love, send them light, because they are another aspect of us. And if we can send sunshine to where there's too much rain, or send rain to where there are too many fires, then I think we have an obligation to do so. And at the very minimum, we can pray for everyone in the world, and this gives us an idea of who needs our love and light and prayers. Also, it gives us information as to what is happening as we see these seemingly apocalyptic things happening in the world. And well, when we start to see patterns in things, I think that somehow gives us an insight as to the inner workings of the matrix we live in as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Watchers.news is where I go to find the Earth Changes report that I create every week for you. And on last Saturday, this was the headline: Typhoon Goni, Raleigh. So I guess they named it Goni, and then they also named it Rolly. I don't know why they're naming it like a pet with a nickname like a pet. They always name the storms, but it's funny that there's two names this time. Anyway, Typhoon Goni, or Raleigh, rapidly intensifies into the strongest storm of the year in the Philippines, in the Quezon province, and they were under red alert last Saturday. We could send them some sunshine. Very strong 7.0 magnitude earthquake and a tsunami hit the Greece-Turkey border region. Oh my God, did you guys know about this? I don't watch the news except for the election news. And why? Why did I waste my time? They still don't have a winner. Although we're pretty sure at this point it's going to be Biden. And the House has more Democrats, and the other one, the Senate, is neck and neck. 48 on each side. So it's shaping up to be kind of exciting, but we'll see. Hopefully by the time I'm done with the show, Biden will be declared the winner, and next Monday I can come back here and say, hey, guess what, guys? It's over. The reign of terror, the reign of toddler terror is over. Anyway, wow, 116 people died in this tsunami in the Greece-Turkey border region. That's really crazy. 7.0 earthquake. Let's send them love and light and healing energy, because that's got to have left a lot of people with post-traumatic stress disorder. That's a really hard thing to go through. They're probably having aftershocks as well. And whoo, boy, when you go through a big, big earthquake like that, and every time there's an aftershock, I mean, it makes you jump out of your skin. You don't feel like you can trust the very ground you walk upon any longer. It's very scary. I did not know. I should write. I have a friend over there in Greece. I should see if he's doing okay. And you know what, by the way, Turkey and Greece share a border. I came from a timeline. I don't know if you heard the cat meow right when I said that. I came from a timeline in which, I said the word timeline again. She meowed again. Are you okay? Come here. Sometimes she doesn't have object permanence. When she doesn't see me, she'll walk around the corner in the kitchen, and she doesn't see me, and she hears my voice, and she just meows until she sees me, and then she runs at me. Hey, honey, I'm here. Anyway, okay, so I came from a timeline in which Greece was an island. And nowhere near Turkey, kind of near Turkey, but across the bay or whatever from Turkey. it was an island, and there was an area of ocean, I guess, or sea, I guess. Technically, I think it's the Aegean Sea, that was in between Greece and Turkey. And then Greece was always known as the Grecian Islands. I think there's still islands over there, but it was never hooked to other land before in the timeline I was on. Does anybody remember that? Are you all from the same timeline as me, or no? Let me know. I'm serious about this. It kind of freaks me out. For me, that's a personal Mandela effect. I don't know if anybody else has had that experience. Well, my cat just jumped on my shoulder. I have a cat-shaped parrot. That's what I told her. I go, it's better than a parrot-shaped cat, but I love parrots, but yeah, kitties are my thing. All right, let's see. That's not true. I love all animals. All right, Super Typhoon Goni, the one we just talked about a minute ago, hits the Philippines as the strongest storm of the year. So I think let's send love and light, and by light I mean a lot of sunshine, to the Philippines. Hurricane Eta forms in the Caribbean Sea, and this is a life-threatening storm surge, catastrophic flash flooding, and landslides expected. Well, we'll see in a few minutes what happens when it makes landfall. But in the Caribbean, let's send them love and light and lots of sunshine. Catastrophic hailstorm and a month's worth of rain in an hour. Slam Queensland, Australia. Damn. A month's worth of rain in 1 hour, accompanied by a catastrophic hailstorm. Wow. I'm sending love and light to everybody in Australia, not just Queensland, because that's intense, man. Australia has had all kinds of crazy weather in the past year, and this has been absolutely nuts. Let's send them lots of sunshine and love and light. That has got to be just so frustrating. You know, in the summertime they had snow, now they're having this. I mean, all over Australia, in the fires, I mean, it's been pretty crazy. Yeah, I've got a cat-shaped parrot on my shoulder again, and she's purring. She wants to be a part of the show. Hey, girl. She's slamming the tablet with her tail. All right. Extremely dangerous Category 4. Hurricane Eta. Okay, well, she stepped it up for sure. Hurricane makes landfall in Nicaragua. Oh, my God. Let's send them some sunshine, love, and light. Probably energy of healing. That's crazy. In the Philippines, tropical storm Atsani was forecast to pass over or very close to Batanes in the Philippines. So that has yet to hit. So let's just send them some sunshine and a lot of prayers that they get out of the way of that storm. Now, at least 50 people were killed after Eta dumps extremely heavy rain on Guatemala. More than 70 died across Central America. Oh, man. Yeah, let's send love and light, lots of sunshine to Guatemala, Nicaragua, all of Central America, and throughout Asia, especially in the Philippines. And then Super Typhoon Goni leaves 20 people dead in the Philippines, and this is the country's strongest storm on record. That's crazy, man. And that's intense news, but to be honest with you guys, I think that's it. I don't think there's any more news on Watchers.news. It's short and sweet tonight. I mean, not that sweet. I'm sad that these people are going through these kind of changes. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking and this is it. That was it. Not that many bits of news, and it's all about tropical storms and hurricanes, except for the 7.0 massive quake in Greece and tsunami. So everything to do with water, wet type of weather, and massive storms. In the United States, they're having a weather-related storm. That blowhard Trump won't stop talking about his conspiracy theories that are completely unfounded and ungrounded. Some people cannot be gracious winners, I guess. Anyway, that's it. I mean, that was a pretty quick news. Unless the person who runs this website just didn't have her heart into it this week, I don't know. I would have to say that no news is good news for the rest of the world. And I don't know why she didn't do a weekly volcano report. Maybe she was just tired. We've been all slammed with this massive energy, this really intense ascension symptoms this week. I wanted to quickly add some ascension symptoms since we have extra time now. Okay, I figure you guys might be interested in hearing what I read. Now, I could tell you what my ascension symptoms have been in the past few days. Really intense heart palpitations. I've even had chest pains, kind of, and then it goes away right away and I'm fine. In fact, it got so bad that I looked it up. What do you do acupuncture-wise to stop a heart attack? And if you have heart palpitations and you feel like, holy crap, I might be having a heart attack, and you don't have time to get anywhere, like maybe you're in the middle of nowhere, and maybe you don't have a phone or something, squeeze the very tip of your small baby finger, your pinky finger. Just squeeze it as hard as you can. And I think you have to squeeze the left one, but you might want to just alternate between the left and the right, just in case, or look it up. I was really grateful that I found that, because it did stop the heart palpitations. Then I read a few people saying, boy, these heart palpitations with the ascension symptoms are something else. I'm like, oh my God. They are, because I felt like I had a genuine problem. And I was getting a little bit nervous about it, just to be honest with you. So I am really, really happy to report that I'm okay. It was just ascension symptoms, thank God. So, let's see here. I'm looking for this. I think it's pure intention. No, the Ace of Moon. I'm going to read to you what she said. So, first of all, I'm going to go through the rest of, okay. So I had the heart palpitations, and then I've been having a thing where I'll have like a low hum in the right ear and a very high-pitched hum in the left ear. Like there's been some major synchronization happening, hemi-syncing, basically, like the Robert Monroe Gateway experience. Excuse me. It's like the Gateway experience. It's really crazy, where I'll have two different tones instead of just one, or, instead of both ears going at once, or one ear going, and then now I'm getting two ears going with the tinnitus, but two totally different tones. And it's been very strange. There's the typical, mental fogginess, hard time walking around like I just got in this human body and I don't know how to use it yet. Type of feeling like I'm 52 years old and suddenly I can't remember how the hell this body works. Ow, don't bite me. The cat just bit me. Just feeling, and she's like, how dare you? Like, it's not an ageist thing, darling. She's like, I'm only 9 weeks old. She's very good at it. She knows her body. She knows how to negotiate everything. She's doing really well. It's like so strange. Cats are so much more dexterous than us. Anyway, feeling like I don't know where to put my legs or my feet, or like just kind of like walking around wobbly. Not 100% of the time, but sometimes, like for like a few minutes in the morning or in the afternoon, like I've had a few moments where I'm like, whoa, and I just feel really trippy. Not high at all, but feel a little bit high. That's one of the Ascension symptoms, where it's like, whoa, what was I doing again? How do I use this leg again? It's a very weird feeling. And having throat chakra issues, lots of swelling in the throat, lots of allergies, a lot of sinus issues, lung congestion issues. And I've been feeling a little bit of anxiety in the solar plexus again. Lots of serious back pain in my upper back and neck, as well as lower back. And just taking like a naproxen sodium sometimes alleviates it, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the pain just stays. Although overall, compared to the pain I was having last year, it's a lot better. So those are the Ascension symptoms that I've been noticing. A little bit of nausea in the beginning of the week and some dizziness, but that could, for me, be related to the spider bite I had, which, thank you God, I'm over now. All right, so here it goes. This is what the Ace of Moon, what she says. The symptoms the last day or so have been about the same, so I didn't mention much about it, but with yesterday's huge outburst clearing. And when did she put this? 10 hours ago. So yeah, this is true. I felt that. She put that this morning. A big energy clearing of just clearing a bunch of negative energies and fighty kind of energy. Like if you're going to argue or try to win or put your ego into it, you just kind of don't feel the fight in you anymore. Like, yeah, all right. That would have bothered me 2 months ago, but right now I'm fine. That kind of outburst from the Grand Central Sun. We get 3 of those a day now, by the way. So today is about integrations and shedding another layer from ourselves. Not literally, so don't panic. Itching and toxic farting energy. Ugh, that's really gross. My cat. Okay, once. All right. Oh, it was... Probably should never feed her liver again. I'm just saying. Today is about integration. All right. Hot flashes. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm getting hot flashes. Wake up in the middle of the night, just sit up, and I'm just like burning up, super hot. I've got to take all the covers off. I'm like, oh, this is too much. And then feeling nice and cool again after an hour. Yeah, hot flashes for sure. Tailbone soreness, strong heart palpitations, right jaw aches, slight chest pains due to heart openings. Yeah, I've been having pain in my ribs, by the way. Like a lot of pain, like feeling like ribs are about to go out of place and they're feeling very tight. A lot of pain in certain ribs, and it just feels like I can't stretch to make them like pop back into place. Then I realize they're not out of place, they just ache. So that's weird. I've been having like my bones have been rattling inside my body, like vibrating so high that I just feel like I'm made from light. I'm not physical or solid anymore. Sometimes I feel like that. Anyway, she goes on to say, slight chest pains due to heart openings, pushing in right hand. I don't know what she means by that. She says popping and cracking of the left arm. I also don't know what she means by that. Migraine headache. Oh yeah. Every morning this week I woke up with a headache. Not like me. Well, a couple of them I got rid of quickly with coffee, but today, all day long, headache, and I couldn't get rid of it for a while. Not a migraine, but just a normal headache. Which, actually, it's not normal to have headaches, so this was very odd. But let's see, sudden fatigue that pushes us to rest out of nowhere. Yeah, I call those the cosmic naps. I've had a couple of those this week. Clearings are also happening. And she says a lot is happening behind the scenes. Your body needs more rest than usual these days. So clearings are also happening, and dreams are very vivid right now. Also weird dreams are very present. So drink a lot of water. I agree with that. Tons of water, you guys. And just try not to overwork your lower back for now, especially heavy lifting or even running, because it's very tender at the moment. I don't know about you guys, but that's absolutely true for me. And what else does she say? Our bodies are taking a lot on right now due to the shifts happening. And it's behind the scenes. You might feel like your body is kind of in a battery saving mode where you just like really just bare minimum. You know, like I was barely able to do the show this week. That's how bad it was for me. I mean, I was just like, there was a couple hours where I thought maybe I should just stop doing the show altogether. And that's not like me, because this is my passion and I love to do this. But man, for a couple days, I was just like, oh God, I'm done. I was so tired, so exhausted. And now that I look back on it, realize the spider bite plus Ascension symptoms just was a not good combination for the show this week. But I overcame it, thank you God, and being victorious, here we are with the 5th show of the week. So there we go. So she says, you might feel like you're not doing much and you're feeling really tired. Just remember, be kind to your body, love it, and it is doing the best that it can with all that's going on with us. So there we go. Somebody else says that her back heart chakra is so tender to the touch that it hurts. And she says, what does it mean to have your heart cracked open or heart opening? Is this talking about heart expansions, or what is the bone pain around your heart? Yeah, you know what? That's funny that she says that. Yeah, I've been having bone pain around, like, my ribs around where my heart are. My heart is. I don't know if you guys been feeling that or not, but I just like, wow. A lot. And remember, what did I say in the beginning of the week? I had the back of my heart, like my heart chakra, but the back of it, but in the aura, not in my physical body. And it sounded like a loud ass explosion. I thought that something burst behind me. I don't know if you guys ever saw Breaking Bad, but there's a scene where Hank, who has been shot and he's at home, he's a DEA agent and he's resting at home and he's trying to come up with hobbies because he wants to keep up, doing something in his life, and it just drives him nuts not to do anything. So he takes up the hobby of making beer. And because he has PTSD after having been in a shootout, he's sitting in his house, and all of a sudden he hears gunshots outside, or in his garage. He freaks out, and he grabs his gun, and he, as much as he can, he hobbles over to the garage, and he's scared to death. He's sweating bullets. And he gets into the garage, and it's his bottles of beer exploding. It was his fault because he didn't depressurize the bottles, because when you're doing a fermentation process, that's what you need to do. My son was like, even I know that, right? My son likes to ferment food, so he's like, that's not what you do. But that sound of the bottles bursting in that scene, that is the sound I heard behind and I felt it reverberate through my body. It was physical as well as a sound. My cat did not react to it, which is weird, because it was really loud, at least to me. I don't think that it wasn't, I think it was loud throughout my room, you know what I mean, through the kitchen I was in when it happened, or my dining room. I don't think it was like something I heard inside my head, or like it wasn't an astral sound. It was like a serious, like, reverberation, and it just sounded like an explosion. So it's the first time I've ever heard of the term cracking open the heart. And it reminded me of that experience that I just had this week. So it's weird that after so many years of spiritual experiences. I still have more and more spiritual experiences, and they all are different. They're new, different, and they just continue to surprise me. So I don't want you guys to ever think, well, I've already gone through that awakening and I've already had that experience. So there's nothing new under the sun for me, because I'm telling you guys, there is. Years ago, I had a conversation with Yogi Shanti. He was a yogi master. And I think he has ascended into the next world. And I think he did this probably, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. Anyway, he was a good friend of mine. When we met, he just recognized something in me. And we just became instant friends. It was amazing. And he was famous, and he had worked with the United Nations, and he started a charity to bring peace upon the world. And he was running that out of Denver, Colorado, but also he had a headquarters in Denver, but also he had like little branches throughout the world, and including, I think, a couple different places in India. But Yogi Shanti Swaroop, you can maybe find 2 or 3 articles on the internet about him still. But I heard him he was doing an interview on our local radio station, and he gave out his email. And I wrote him, and the very next day he summoned me and my husband and my little girl, who was very, very tiny at the time, to come, and we hung out with him. He didn't eat all day. I don't think he ate. In fact, I asked someone there, I'm like, have you ever seen him eat? And we think that he was one of the saints that do not eat. All he does is meditate. He says when he's hungry, he just meditates. So I thought that was very strange. But anyway, so here we go. I've decided today for the weird news, we're going to go to Coast AM, because we haven't been here for a while. I'm just going to read the headlines. If you want to read the whole article yourself, coasttocoastam.com. And this was originally started by Art Bell, and it's taken over by his successor that he chose, George Norrie. So here we go. Let's see. I think the 23rd of October is the last headline we read. Maybe. There's a lost tectonic plate called Resurrection hidden under the Pacific. This plate has been long controversial among geophysicists, and some people believe it never existed. That's really strange. Strange it's called the Resurrection. Someone said they spent a night in the Conjuring house, and yes, it seems haunted. Well, duh. So that's based on the paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, who conducted a seance at this haunted house in 1973. That's what the film is based on. And so they said, yeah, it seems a little haunted. All right, cool. I don't know if I read those or not. They sound a little familiar. All right, let's go to this one. All right, the mammoth craze. Mania for the mammoth elephant swept the 19th century America. So in the 1800s. I don't know. I've said this before. I don't know if you guys remember. They did just uncover a mammoth in, I think, maybe it's Kamchatka. By the way, there's a lot of volcanic activity with the Kamchatka volcano this week. So I think the Watchers News lady didn't really put all the earth changes. I might have to find a different resource for this just in case. But anyway, there was a show, oh my God, Northern Exposure. And there was one episode where this guy didn't come down from his farm or whatever, his land, for like weeks. And the doctor was concerned, like he had a heart condition and maybe, he needs a visit, just maybe there's something going on. And he gets up there and he finds out that he had uncovered a woolly mammoth. And he was like carving off bits and pieces of this and throwing it on the Barbie. He's like, I don't have to go to town for like 2 years. You know? And I was like, what? He's like, what the hell are you? And the doctor's freaking out. What the hell are you doing? It's like, I'm eating a woolly mammoth. Them's good eating. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, they taste really good. Like, come on, you want a bite? He's like, oh my God, I could have diseases. It could be this, it could be that. He's like, it's been in the permafrost, son. And it was like flash frozen. This is like the best freezer in the world is up here. He was just eating a woolly mammoth, so it's kind of funny. I don't know what they mean by the mammoth craze. You might want to check that one out on coastcoastam.com. All right, next headline. The Houston Zoo has a resident ghost. Ooh, a lion tamer was murdered in 1941, and he might be still roaming the grounds. Ooh, that's crazy. The next one, constructed forest floor changes children's immune systems. According to Finnish researchers, they found changes in immunity when kids were placed in a natural environment. Well, you know, I absolutely believe that. I think that's absolutely true. Being outside in nature and not being scared of every little possibility of germs, you know. Let your kids play outside, you know. It's sure they're going to get sick, but they're going to get sick anyway. Might as well build up immunity by touching a lot of different surfaces and only washing their hands a few times a day. Oh my God. I tried to teach my kids don't touch anything. Taught them about germ theory and everything. And my youngest son, the chaotic one, he just, oh my God, like 6 years ago, he ate a candy off the floor he found at the airport in Mexico, in Mexico City. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, well, it looked good. I'm like, oh my God, I have many. We could have bought food. We could have bought candy. Don't eat candy randomly off the floor. I mean, there's a 5-second rule, but I'm telling you right now, that's probably been there for hours. It might have fallen out of someone else's mouth. And he just told me I was stupid and he would be fine. And 48 hours later, I had to go to the pharmacy to get him meds for strep throat. And he was very sick. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, chaos with this kid. Anyway, yeah, don't eat anything off the floor, but also let your kids play outside. Hindu festival features COVID-19 statues? What? I guess it's a new demon personified. I'm gonna have to look at that one later. Next one, cats on the road. Meow. Cats aren't as place-bound as you might think. Aw, you better not leave. My cat's laying on my lap. So happy. She's so happy. That's why she was crying earlier. She just wants to sleep and she wants mommy to hold her. All right. Researcher says that consciousness is your brain's energy field. And this theory might point the way to conscious AI. Interesting. I think that consciousness is your soul, or your mental body in your soul. You know, there's like layers, you know. Your soul is the overseer of everything, you know. But your soul doesn't really inhabit inside your body. It just kind of overlays the physical body. But this is a strange one, man. The consciousness is your brain's energy field. Well, they're onto something a little bit. I know there's something to that, but not what he thinks. Gay penguins in a Dutch zoo have been stealing eggs so that they could hatch them themselves. Oh, yeah, you just can't make this shit up. Dutch Zoo is a location of a gay versus lesbian penguins debacle. That's excellent. Aw. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Greek lakes with fighting dragon legends. Well, I'm going to have to look that up later. 2 isolated mountain lakes in Greece have a storied mythical past. That's according to the Atlas Obscura. That might be interesting to read. A review of new UFO films says it does not go far enough. Silver Screen Saucers author Robbie Graham reviews the phenomenon. Doot 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 phenomenon. Doot 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 doot. Sorry, not a singer, but I love that song. All right. Ooh, ooh, ooh! The first murder hornet nest has been discovered. Washington state officials have found and plan to eradicate the deadly pests. Okay, I'm suddenly feeling itchy all over. That's freaking me out. Ooh. Ugh, yuck. That is really creepy. You know, earlier this week, a mass group of bees came and landed on one of the smaller palm trees out front of this gated community. And everyone was up in arms. They were freaking out. And there were the people going, we got to kill them right away. And other people were like, don't hurt the bees. They're going extinct. More people were for not harming the bees here. I love that. I love that. Don't harm the bees. And you know what? The murder hornets are after them anyway. It's really scary. It's just love the bees. Sometimes they'll be flying for long distances. And they will just relax and rest for a couple, 3 days. Then they'll just power up again and take off. And then they're done. They won't come back. They might come back in a year. Because sometimes they migrate. There are bees that migrate. I used to live in a house that was covered in bees 1 day a year. That was a day I never left the house. Ooh, made sure all my doors and windows were closed because that was creepy. But then I'd watch them from the window because I really loved bees. And it's a very high vibration. They buzz very, very happily, very high vibration. But in the past week, I've had 2 bees fly in and just die on my floor. And it's just so sad. Then I had a thing in here that looked like a murder hornet. Well, it looked like a hornet. I don't know if it was a murder hornet or not, but super creepy. Anyway, all right. Can quantum entanglement be a power source? Well, that's an interesting thought. According to SciTech Daily, quantum thermodynamic engines theoretically could run at 100% efficiency. That's really interesting. I like that. Mexico's icons of death. According to the Catholic Review, of course, a global Catholic review. As Halloween approaches, a deep dive into Santa Muerte. Hey. Yours truly. Santa Muerte, Day of the Dead, and the Skeleton Dame. I love all the Day of the Dead stuff. I love it. It's a way to honor the dead. Santa Muerte is something else that people that were afraid of death realize that death is your friend. It's going to bring you to a much better life. You know, when you go to the other side, you have everything you need. And here you have the illusion that you have nothing you need. You know, and a lot of people in Mexico are very poor, and Santa Muerte has brought comfort to a lot of people. Saint Death, they call, I guess, me. You know, it's not in the form of an archangel, but I have a Santa Muerte statue that I took a picture of, and I put it up on Instagram a couple days ago. In case you didn't check out my Halloween one, And by the way, if you go and check out that picture, this is hilarious because I didn't realize there was a water bottle next to him in the background when I took the picture. And in Spanish, it says, keep your mind hydrated and your body hydrated. And I took a picture of the death statue and he's a skeleton. I was like, ooh, the irony is just too delicious. And I noticed it today. I was like, oh, I got to tell you guys about this. So I did forget to mention it. It's so funny. All right. Strange lights have been observed over Maui. Explanations, of course, range from military drones to dead satellites. I'm sorry, it's probably the Galactic Federation of Light just dropping by and saying, hey, we're here, everything's cool. So, all right, the next one. Female mutant crayfish have taken over a Belgian cemetery. Oh my God. Oh, this one's too good. What? Female mutant crayfish take over a Belgian cemetery. That is weird. The result of experimental breeding can multiply rapidly with no males and are voracious eaters. According to the New Zealand Herald. What the hell? Crayfish, aren't they but they're in fresh water usually, right? And they can multiply rapidly with no males, and they're voracious eaters. Well, you can eat crayfish, so if you were a voracious eater of the crayfish, this isn't going to be much of a problem. Oh gosh. Hello, baby girl. Oh, my cat crawled up to sit on my chest above my heart. Now she's purring like crazy. Oh, hi, baby girl. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I'm trying to get you to hear the purring. This is when she becomes part of the show. So, the secret history of MK Ultra in Canada. Ooh, I didn't know they were in Canada. The CIA's infamous mind control experiments and the Canadian contractors. Ooh, that might be an article worth reading, guys. So if you want to get into that conspiracy, I'm not going to call it a theory. I think it's real. That's on coasttocoastam.com under the news items. So decomposing bodies in the 1720s gave birth to the first vampire panic. Ooh, according to the Smithsonian Magazine, how superstition collides with public health concerns to create a modern monster. Well, I honestly could see this kind of thing happening again. History tends to repeat itself, and there's a lot of less than intelligent people out there, so I could see in some communities where something like this might happen again. There's a ghost hunter that's been helping to sell haunted houses. Yeah, I love that idea. I think there are a certain faction of the population that would love to live in a haunted house. I should probably sell them my house in Detroit. There's a mean-ass ghost. Man, right when I'm about to fall asleep, she's screamed in my ear once. I'm like, get the hell out of here, girl. I'm gonna exorcise your ass Catholic style. I'm so mad, and I wasn't as good as I am now about helping people get to heaven. So that was pretty crazy. Uh-oh, someone's here. Hold on a minute. Well, my son came home, and my cat was so happy to see him. She woke up and reached her little paws out for his face, and he leaned in to kiss her on the nose, and she just wrapped her little arms around his head. It was so cute. All right, so this next one is kind of odd. Actually, I want to read this one later. The hidden meanings behind 11 common tombstone symbols. Very interesting, according to Mental Floss. Accompanying the inscriptions of names, dates, and family crests are some symbols that crop up repeatedly on gravestones. Of course, this was leading up to Halloween, so very Halloween-ish article, but that does sound very interesting. I want to know about the symbols on gravestones. The man who destroyed skepticism. Oh yeah, James Randi. Mitch Horowitz weighs in on the life of James Randi, who passed away last week. That's created Boing Boing. Now, the thing is, James Randi he used to say if he finds a psychic who is real, he would pay them $1 million. And many psychics came forward and proved it to him. And he refused to pay up, mainly because he didn't have $1 million. So the man who ruined skepticism. Ooh, okay. This surreal Colorado city is a magnet for spiritualists and UFOs, and they're calling it the Bermuda Triangle of the West. Very interesting. I kind of want to go now. When I went to Colorado last time, there was a lot of people that were very spiritual there. I had a great time. I love Colorado. Why do we see dead people? Humans always sense the ghosts of loved ones. It's only in the last century that we convinced ourselves this was a problem. I don't think it's a problem. That was a weird article. I'm not going to go into that further. Oh yeah, this is fun. A rare two-headed snake was discovered by a Florida house cat. They called the snake Dos. Like number 2 in Spanish, dos. The snake has 2 brains, 2 throats, and 1 scaly body. Aw, two-headed snakes are really strange, but they're kind of magical, I think. I remember when I was a kid and they got a two-headed snake, was born at the zoo, and I just so badly wanted to see it. It's like it burned a hole in my brain. I was thinking about it so much. I'm like, I really want to see the two-headed snake. That is so intensely weird. My grandma cut the picture out from the Los Angeles Times, and I got to hold on to that. I think I put it in my purse. And I looked at this two-headed snake so often. It was like, how can this happen? And I was just like constantly focused. I think I was like 8 years old, and it was like an obsession. I have to see that two-headed snake. I want to see the two-headed snake. Can we go to the zoo today? Can we go to the zoo tomorrow? What are you doing next weekend, Mom? I need to see the two-headed snake. I was like so freaked out of that thing. It still kind of freaks me out. I mean, in a way that I want to see it. I just want to, it's so weird. How would it move? Which head decides which way do we go? I mean, who says 2 heads are better than 1? I mean, that might be terrible. Anyway, that's really wild. Found by a house cat. Woo! The weird culture war over Bigfoot as a COVID-19 icon. What? True believers appear to be coronavirus truthers, while others diehard enthusiasts say are using Bigfoot as a symbol of social distancing. Are they talking about me? I haven't shaved my legs in a while. Do I smell? I don't need a shower. We're social distancing. Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't know. If you want to read that article, coastcoastam.com. Meteorite that crashed into Michigan has pristine organic compounds. Ooh, the Hamburg meteorite was discovered less than 2 days after it fell into a frozen lake in Michigan. That's pretty cool. Maybe someone will get rich off that, hopefully, and not get a disease, because I think it could carry stuff. I think meteorites can carry germs, or viruses especially. Viruses can withstand super high temperatures sometimes, or super cold temperatures. That's really crazy. So, ooh, this is really creepy. There's a murky legend of Montauk, the real-life lab that inspired the TV show Stranger Things. Ooh, that's creepy as hell. Let's move on. The Addams Family is about reading. Oh, okay, so this is a new ad campaign. The creepy, kooky family is apparently a public service announcement now for literacy. Well, I think that's kind of cool. CIA officer returns from Moscow with mysterious headaches. Unexplained brain damage from unknown source might be a new weapon. What was he doing in Moscow in the first place? I mean, honestly, it could just be, jet lag, drink water. Did he really have brain damage? Maybe. If they're saying it. That's creepy. Ozzy Osbourne says pyramids are replicas of UFOs. What is he smoking this week? Shock rocker makes statement in a new reality show. Well, We can see where that's going. Area 51 watering hole. The Little Alien. I have eaten lunch there, guys. I've been to the Little Alien. I ate there with my husband and my little girl when she was very little. We went to the Little Alien. And it's become part of the Area 51 legend. It is. It really is. We ate there. I think we had fries and burger. An Earth-sized planet is careening untethered through the galaxy, apparently, according to scientists. What happens when a planet goes rogue? That's really odd, man. The Malaysian Penanggalan haunts pregnant women and newborn babies. While folkloric monsters are numerous in Southeast Asia, one flying head soars above the rest. Ooh, that's really creepy. A new way to plug a human brain into a computer via the veins. Ooh, electrodes threaded through blood vessels that feed the brain let people control gadgets with their minds. That's crazy. I have a friend who can turn a light on with her mind, and she doesn't have her brain connected to anything except the universe. The blood house at Fountain Drive. Human blood overtakes a house amid racial turmoil in 1987 Atlanta, and this is a mystery that opens up that persists to this day. That's really creepy. I don't want to even know more about that. Hubble telescope gives us a closer look at that 10,000 quadrillion dollar rare asteroid. It's an extremely rare metallic asteroid lurking between Mars and Jupiter right now. It's worth more than the entire global economy. I mean, that could feed the whole world, but I don't think it would, because that would actually really hurt your teeth. I mean, what is this thing made of? No one wants to eat that. Okay. Earth's magnetic North Pole has begun racing towards Siberia. Yeah, we already knew that. That's old news. Discover magazine. It's actually past the geographic pole and it's headed towards Siberia. We already knew. We already knew the pole shift is happening. It's real, people. Probably why we're having so many crazy anomalies. Disney made a skinless robot. Why do they have to say that? Like that? Ew. It can realistically stare directly into your soul. I don't think this is real. The new animatronic represents an impressive leap forward when it comes to making a human-like robot that potentially could fool a real person. Well, I might have to see that for myself someday. Oh, Elon Musk's SpaceX will make its own laws on Mars. What the hell? No Earth-based government has authority over sovereignty over Martian activities, according to SpaceX. Well, that's true. I mean, it's only Russia that has claimed that they now own Venus. It's like, we're so random. Based on a scientific report that turned out to be completely false, by the way. That there really isn't life in the atmosphere of Venus. Whatever. Yeah, we did talk about the building that walks 62 meters last week. And here's a fun one, and I think this might be where we're going to end tonight. A New York man falls into a sinkhole full of rats. Oh my God. A man who had been waiting for a bus was unaware of the nightmare scenario that he was just about to experience. Oh my good God. Maybe we shouldn't end on that. I got a couple minutes here. I mean, that's creepy as hell. I mean, it's bad enough the guy doesn't have a car, can't drive himself around, sitting at a bus stop, and then, rats. Usually, when you're sitting at a bus stop and you say, rats, it means you forgot your bus pass. Or you forgot your backpack, or you forgot something. Rats. And literally for him, real rats. In a sinkhole, no less. Oh my God. It's like when things go wrong and then they go wronger. That's a wrong word. More wrong. There we go. Let's see. Well, we already knew about the air car called the Sky Car by Mahler International. But there's another futuristic flying air car that can also transform from a road vehicle into a plane. And this is in Slovakia. In fact, they were able to fly it for 3 minutes, 1,500 feet in the air, as part of a test flight recently. So this is coming. I mean, Sky Cars, this is coming. We're going to have this. Our future is filled with cars that fly. Yes! Always wanted that to happen. I think that's pretty cool. So, let's see. I think that's where we're going to end. I mean, the rest of this stuff, All right, here we go. That was the end. That was the end of it. I want a flying car, don't you? That would be like the funnest thing ever. I think I'd put stickers of butterflies and maybe Pegasus and dragonflies on it. Yeah, I would have to do that. And I would have to name my very first flying car Icarus, which is a Greek story about a man who, well, he let his ego get the best of him and he flew too close to the sun, and he literally flew with wings he strung together with wax, and the wax melted in the hot Grecian sun, and then he plummeted to his death. So let that be a lesson. Hubris has no place in our lives. Just don't use your ego above your intellect and your instinct and intuition and all that. All right, it is time. I wanted to say thank you guys for your continued faith and confidence in my show and my abilities. And thank you for the very generous donation to Ann Hillsborough, the author. I wanted to thank you personally on the show, especially since I know that you really, really like the weekly world news episodes every Friday. So this I am dedicating today. I'm dedicating the whole show to Ann Hillsborough. So, and her cats. Can't forget the cats. So, meow to the cats. And anyway, that's it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being on this spiritual journey with me and deciding to incarnate on the planet at the same time as me so we can all enjoy these wild topics every week. I will be back on Monday with all unique and original programming, just like always. Monday, we will continue the reading of the life and teaching of the Masters of the Far East by Baird T. Spalding from the 1920s. So that's it. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend or week, depending on when you're listening to this. But right now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.